Hello and welcome back to Scatterbrook Farm Garden Designs. Hope you're all well, all designing. All the Easter stuff's gone now, so hope you got all what you wanted and getting them onto your farms. Okay, I've had a viewer said that they love the designs on my farm. They love all the different things that I've done. Could I go through each design um, and sort of what inspired me to do that type of design? So I thought what I'd do for you viewers is just to share with you. We go through each one, and I'll tell you the reasons, why I did it, and what the reasons why I did it. And a lot. There's a few people said to me about why have you got so many trees. Well, I'll give you I'll run through it, everything as I go through as to why I've used lots of trees and the things. I mean, I'll explain it as we go. So now in the last video, I built a bridge over the road, and it was very very nice. I looked at it. It's different, and it's something for you viewers and people that want to incorporate that bridge. It's quite a nice design to have. But I did miss my bee design. I had a really really nice bee design over the road. Um, So we're going to start with the bee design, okay? In fact, now what we'll do is start with the area where I have the bridge and what I've done to it. So the area with the bridge, I've thinned it out, taken away the bridge, and I've made a little walkthrough. Now, as you can see, you can come from the farmhouse by the tea tent there. You can walk down to the river or down to the boating lake there, and then you can follow it around. And if you want to come down to this roadside here, you can follow the path all the way around, right between the avenue of trees, and then out onto this footpath, turn left, and then down onto the road. So like I said, I've done away with the bridge because I did miss my bee design. So this is it. This is the bee design. So I've updated it a little bit. I've put some, changed it around a little bit. So the bee design, okay. I put an avenue of trees around the back. Now, go into that question that was asked about why do you use so many trees? Right, first and foremost, trees give you depth. It gives you a really nice outlook in a design. Without trees, areas can look very flat, and they can all look, there's no, how can I explain it? It doesn't come out to you. It's like a pop-up book. When you open a page, if you read see pictures in a book, they're flat. But if you've got a pop-up book, one of these that you open and the things pop up, it gives you that instant reaction. It gives you that wow. It hits you. It comes out. So the trees, when I do landscaping and designing, we'll always incorporate a bit of height there with trees and that, because they really bring out the design. And as you can see, those trees around the outside, they just give it that, just make the feature, it just finishes it. It's like a picture frame. It just gives it that lovely lift. Now, you can see I've added some gold trees in between the green. Now, what I've done with that, because it's a bee design and you've got lots of honey and yellow, it actually looks like that it's sort of honey dripping from the trees. No, it's not, but it just gives it that lovely effect that it's seeping down through the trees down into the actual design, which is quite nice. Yellows and greens, I've got the two machines in there. Obviously I've got the little waterfall there, and you can see I've got the little smoky machine. I can't remember what they're called now, but one of those either side, and like I said, I keep it symmetrical, so it really stands out. Hey, where's that going? So it keeps it really symmetrical. Some creosote bushes around. I've got some wall breakers there, so instead of just having them all along, I just put a little piece of wall there just to break it up. So when you zoom out, it just gives it that little bit of a feature. So again, when you're using your trees, try and mix them up a little bit. Don't try and keep them all the same colour. It just depends what design you're actually doing. But as you can see, just by mixing up the trees and the colours, you can get a really nice, pretty design. Okay, so then we're moving on to the farmhouse. Now again, you've got that lovely height of trees and different colours around the house. And what that does is it just lifts everything. Again, like I said, it just pops out. And it just gives you that lovely little secluded farmhouse in amongst those trees. We've got the car parked there and the little bike there parked in the corner. Go away you. Let's get rid of him a minute. Chucky. Oh dear. So we got that. Just behind there, we've got the path leading up to the boat. And that path there obviously goes to the back of the farmhouse and then out the gateway there. I've draped a cherry tree, that blossom tree, over the gateway. So again, it just gives it a little bit of body. It makes it look a little bit bigger. So that's quite nice. And then I built the river. That was my idea there of bringing it from this main river here all the way along, and built a large bridge over the top. Again, with the different size of trees and that, it can make it look as though the bridge is right up in the air. So if you look at that bridge there as it is, it looks as though it's right up in the air, right up, and the water is passing under no problem at all. And that's again using height at the front, low at the back. So that just gives it that little bit of a really nice effect. So you could just walk over that bridge and you're going over the water without a problem. Again, you've got the river bank along the back there with the olive trees, the short bush and the daffodils, using water pieces along there along the edge to make the river bank. And then I thought, well, I need a little bit of height at the back here. So I put a trail path coming from there all the way along, added the squirrels into the wood, continuing the path along. So when you actually look at that now, you can actually see the river looks as though it's sunk down. And where you're looking at the back, the bank actually looks like a bank. You're sort of going up. So it's quite a nice effect. And again, using those trees, using the trees to cover the different ponds that I've used. Got to use the same colour along there because obviously you've got to keep the same tree to keep the same effect all the way along. So there's no mixed trees in that one. And again, just a little bit of yellow and green along that front edge. But as you can see, yes, there are a lot of trees, but it's really effective with the conifers in a row along the back there. And it really stands out. And if you've got paths leading to everywhere, I always say the design always tells a story. You know, you come out the house there along, go along the path to the boatyard, go over the bridge, go for a walk along here. It just tells a story. So it's not just a load of trees just plonked everywhere and just a mess. It's a story. There's you know, it's a farm that you can go anywhere you want on that farm via the footpaths. Then we come along here, we got the mine. I've got the mine shaft there. I put the little board at the front with a little bench and the pickaxe at the front. Again, nice and secluded at the back there. It just gives it that little bit of privacy. Little path leading up to the mine, and then you've got the pottery just next to it. And again, using the trees again to arch over the top. So again, it gives it that little bit of privacy, and it just looks cozy. Just tucked up underneath with a little path leading up and the pots out the front. And again, the conifers either side just gives it that little alcove effect. So that's quite nice. And then we move in on, then we got the jeweler and the path leading around the back of the jeweler up to there. So you've got the path continuing down through, like you see, round by the jeweler. And then this path then wiggles its way down by the flower shop, using that wisteria over the water's edge. And then the water comes down under the bridge and then down into the boating lake. Now again, I've updated this one. As you can see now, I've put the coffee shop so you can sit down by the water's edge, have a cup of coffee, and you've got the little life buoy there. If somebody falls in, the derelict boat there full up with water. And again, using yellows and greens there to cover different parts of the water. Again, using the far bank again, those water pieces. So all these pieces here are the large ones that you can get in the sanctuary. So those ones that I've been using, I think they're under nature. There they are, that one there. Got 5 left, and you're using those in a row. I have got videos on how to make this area, so you just check through the videos and you can have a look to see how that's done. But that's quite effective. So what I've done is, as well as making that coffee shop area with a bit of colour and everything, so you can sit outside and sit by the pond, the lake, I've also incorporated a peacock design, and I've made it in such a way that the peacocks and the pelicans, they can walk up round the back. They can go up round the back of here, all up round, or they can go this way. I've placed the water on, let's get rid of him first. The water, this last piece here, I've turned it in such a way that you can see that when it meets the path, it's got that little sandy effect, so it looks as though the birds go there and have a drink. So that's quite effective. And like I said, they can walk all the way around here and around there. I put a little block there, there's a post. See that post I can show you there? So what that does is, right in the middle of the path, they can't go any further than that. So I put that behind the tree so it blocks them going any further. So they will only go as far as that post. So it's in this area here, and then wander all around. There he goes, look. And they go down by the river, down by that lake, and they stand on that edge and have a little drink. He's right on the edge now, look. So I thought that was quite effective. Using a nice array of colour there, purples and a couple of ponds on the outside. Again, plenty of colour, just adds to it, and keeping it symmetrical as well. Blood trees in the back to give it that like a feathery effect, as you can see at the back of the house there. So then we can move up. We've got the fruit trees there either side. I've added this piece of fence going up the path just to break it up, and a blackberry hedge along there this side of the fruit. And then that there goes up back towards the flower shop, and then that goes all the way along by the mixers, behind the trees, and then on towards the other animals. Bakery and the creamery, again, not too much height there, a couple of trees just mixed in by the silo, and those fruit trees, orange trees there in a row, just look nice in amongst the green. Okay, so we have now got the stable area. So again, it's nice with the trees, again, height at the back, just hanging over the top of the stable area. That's quite nice with the daffodils in between, just a little bit of yellow just to break up the green. And then the tractor there in that little derelict I showed you in another video. It's a little derelict area. Obviously you got the tractor that don't work anymore, and it's sunk down in all the grass and the barrels and the, you know, the conifers and weeds and stuff like that. So it just looks as though it's been there a while. So that's quite a nice little design. Where are you going? And the donkeys there, I haven't fed them yet. They got their own little area. Now you're probably looking at it and saying, well, how do you get in? How do you actually get into that area? So you can't make a gangway without the animals walking out all over the farm. So what I've done is, obviously you can come up this path around there, and there's your gangway there. Now what I've done is I put the hay cart in the gangway, so it looks as though obviously the farmer there has been sort of cleaning out the animals, and he's just put the hay cart there while he's, you know, putting the hay in the little stable areas there. So that's just a good little blocker, but it looks effective. So you've got your little walkway, and you've got your gangway there that the horses and that and donkeys, they can't get out because the cart's in the way. But it just shows you that there is a gangway, and that's the way in. So you've got the footpath, the muddy path leading up, all ready to go in. So that's quite good there. So you've got your way in, your way out, and it's just blocked with that hay cart, which obviously makes sense because you're cleaning out the animals. And then we move on to my arena. So again, when those what you call it, the stands, I got that in the Derby prizes, and like I said, pretty simple, just some jumps there with the muddy path around where they've been jumping. You've got a little seat there that you can sit down and watch. Old man playing his guitar there in the corner. We've got the, what you call it there, where you put all the horseshoes on. That's quite nice. But again, really effective. And again, the trees at the back. If you imagine those trees weren't there, all of a sudden that design would look very flat. So those trees, again, just lift it. Same with the chickens at the back. See those coffee bushes and the olive trees. Without those, that would look very flat at the back. But what it does is it puts those in like a valley in between. So it just makes them stand out that little bit more. So then we can move then down to the dogs area. Now again, you need a way in. What I've done is I've done that entrance and put the fence there. So you can sort of step over the fence to get in. So again, the animals can't get out. They got a lovely little walkway around the garden there, and then up to their houses, and the rabbit area there. Just made a little feature on the corner there with a fallen log and that rabbit design that we got in the farm path. So they've got their little area. The guinea pigs at the top corner there again. Trees just hanging over the top of But when you start looking at these designs and you do design one by one, and you start putting these trees in, you're looking at each design as you do it. So you're doing each design, and then you put the trees, and before you know it, it looks as though you've got trees all over the place. But in fact, when you dissect it and look at each design, it doesn't look a lot. When you look at it overall, there's quite a lot of trees. But as you can see, as I'm going through it, you can see there's a story. You know, you can actually imagine walking around it and going in there, and it's got a story to it. And then we've got the railway line. Now, obviously, I've done this area here. You've got the little telephone box. You've got the little seated area on the station. You've got the barn there, covered up with the trees. Again, you see a little bit of gold in there amongst the green. Just looks like the station there. You've got the front area coming out. And then you can go down onto the station platform. You've got a little somebody selling sandwiches there, look, on the corner. Like I say, that goes underneath there and out this side, and again under the bridge. So I've still got a bridge on my farm, like you see, it's just the same. And then you come over the bridge, up the path, up the steps, over the bridge, and then you can come down out of here, over the fence, and then on you go to wherever you want to go. Train comes out from under there. Again, more trees, but you need the trees there to make the cover for the to make it look as though there's a tunnel. So, and again, adding a little bit of gold just to break up the green. Same in there. 2 gold, symmetrical, just breaks it up. Then you've got all that array of colour just in there with the broken down logs, and looks a bit swampy. And then you've got the little little lake just up there. Place it in such a way that the sand on that comes this side, so it looks as though when you're looking in over, you've got that lovely little sandy area. So that's quite nice. One thing I would say is use quite a lot of blackberry hedging, because blackberry hedging is natural to a farm. On a lot of farms, certainly in the UK, you get a lot of blackberry hedges. A lot of the hedges are, blackthorn and blackberry, and so they always make a really nice hedge. Hence the reason why I've used them quite a lot up the wall and inside the dog area. But as you can see, by using those trees, it just brings it to life. Look at the peacock area. Those trees there, there's more trees than anything else, but look how those trees really show it up. Look how it brings that feature right out. And then even looking at this bottom corner with the dogs, that avenue of trees, it just sets it off. And yeah, that area there was really nice. Ricky looked at it on his live stream and said that he really liked it. It was his favourite design. But yeah, I have worked hard at it. I have changed a few things. Like I said, I did the bridge the other day and I was missing my bee design. But just by organising those trees symmetrical, look at the effect that you can get. With the plants around the outside, and it really does stand out. And then when you look at it as she's back again. She wants my axes. You know what you can do. Yeah. So when you pan out and look at that whole area, even though there's a lot of trees, look at the effect that you can get. It's not overloaded with trees that you don't know where to walk, because you can see there's paths leading to everywhere. Even down here, look at all the trees there, all the different colours and the shades. But when you look at it, there's paths that take you all through it. You go all through the gardens. I've used nearly all muddy paths, because obviously on farms, you wouldn't sort of go into a field somewhere and see a load of slabs. You wouldn't walk into a big farmer's field of 5 acres and he'd take his cement mixer with him and lay slabs. So I just thought, keep it more natural and have muddy path where your farmer and his wellies and that walks around and it sort of gets muddy. Look at me waffling on. And then this side hasn't changed. Again, more trees around, more greenery, using a lot of the olive bushes, coffee bushes in between the machines. But I've made it in such a way that I've tried to get it to look as though it's on a hill. So there's a hill effect. So by keeping this low down the bottom, makes that look as though it's right up in the air. So it looks as though all the machines are up there on a bank. Even that house at the top, look, you see, it looks as though it's all stepping down. So that's quite nice. And then the avenue of trees around the outside, different colours, yellows and that in between. You've got apples in between those trees there, just to break it up. But again, it just gives it that backdrop. It just gives it that edge to it and brings it to life. So I think we've covered everything on the farm there. If you see any designs that you like, that you want to incorporate onto your farm, they haven't got to be exactly the same as mine, but certainly give it a go. Some of the designs that you can see, you can get some nice ideas. And for that viewer that wanted to know, why I use so many trees, I hope I've cleared it up. Why I use a lot of trees in my designs. And we've gone through a few of, all the designs on the farm there, as to, why I done them and how I done them and how to do them. And like I say, if you're stuck with any of these designs that you can see, and you like the design and you don't really know how to do that design, let me know in the comments, and we can always do a video. We can do a live video and showing you how it's done step by step. A lot of my videos are step by step, but there's not a lot happening down in the town. I haven't done anything in the town. That's exactly as it was in previous videos. Again, lots of conifers and greenery, but look how that brings it to life. All those beautiful colours. Oh, I got me lighthouse. There's a crate there. I never win on the crates. Look. Oh, five diamonds. I'll eat my words. There's me lighthouse again. More trees in the corner, but look with that. How that golden tree at the back, the brownie coloured tree. How that just creeps down onto the back of the lighthouse, and a little boat out the front. But again, really looks pretty with those trees just around. Not too many trees along the back. I've done the beach there so that you can see they can walk around. They got plenty of room to walk in between stuff. So here they come onto the beach, and you place it out in such a way that they can walk all around right up to the lighthouse. They can go right up as far as that boat. So that's quite good. And then this area here, exactly the same. They got paths and boards that they can go and sit down and have a drink and look out to sea. And then obviously we got the sanctuary. They're all asleep at the moment. I don't like waking up until I get a task. But again, you can see the gateway coming through over the bridge. You've got that beautiful water with the bulrushes there, look. And that's quite nice because that looks all like overgrown, but you've got the water at the base of the bulrushes, so it looks as though the water's still running underneath. That's quite nice. And like I say, a little walk-through feature that they've got there. They can go around with some lights either side. And then we've got that beautiful island where you've got the water coming from the main flow at the top there along. I made it in such a way that it comes from the river at the top, and it seeps down into a waterfall, and then that waterfall then comes down through all the other waterfalls and then seeps back up around, or it can go down into the tundra and ends up in a little pond there. There's the tundra area. So again, plenty of trees, nice bit of greenery, nice bits of colour, another bridge walking over, a little barn area there where I've used the toilets just to make a little barn. One piece of muddy path there, so obviously when you're sort of picking up the hay bales and everything, you're sort of working there, so it's a bit worn. And then you say path leading all the way around, so those animals can walk around along by the river there. And again, you're looking at the bridge, and when they go over that bridge, they go all up round here. Well, I stopped that because again, somewhere around here, there you go, I've got another post. So that post is right in the middle. Oh dear, hang on, it was. Oh dear. It'll be out all over the place in the morning. So just one of those and just stick it there, look. And that stops them going over the bridge. They can't go any further. You can go to the bridge and nowhere else. And like I say, the water is just flowing down from the main point at the top. So that's quite nice. The gorillas are on that island. Oh, battery power. Oh my goodness. Hang on a minute. So those of you who are new to my channel, everything is done on a mobile phone. So let's just plug that in. It'll come up in the middle to show you 14%, and then it disappears. Everything that I do, all my content is done on a mobile phone, not a laptop or iPad or anything like that. It's all done on just a small phone. Hence the reason you've got the little thing on the right hand side of the screen. So I do apologize if the quality is not that great, but I do my best, you know, until I can afford all the gear that all these content creators have got, you know. once I get to 1,000 subscribers, then I can start looking at getting a bit bigger. And that's why I'm hoping that you guys will pass on the videos with all your friends and keep the subscribers going up. Once we get to 1,000, then we can start going live, and I can talk to you guys, and we can do lots of live designs. But that's so yeah. So that's quite nice. So going back then to the farm. Now I've explained it, I hope it all makes sense to you guys, and especially that viewer, as to why I use so many trees. But again, when you look at it, it's not massively overcrowded. You've got plenty of room to move around, and there's paths, like I say, around the bee design. Everywhere is led to by paths. It's not as if it's just a massive trees like this up here and there's no path. Everything's covered and you can't get anywhere. You can get absolutely anywhere. So there you go. So if you like any of the designs that you've seen on my farm, by all means, copy them or do something similar. Use the ideas that you can see that I've given you, and good luck with it all. You know, it does take time. Obviously, the lower level that you are, you're not going to get a lot of the stuff, but I do lower level designs, as you'll see in my videos. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say cheerio to all of you, and I'll let you have one last look at the farm with a nice bit of relaxing music. I think it's a banjo playing in this one. So sit back and just enjoy what I've just gone through on Scatterbrook Farm. You can have a little look over, listen to a bit of music, and yeah. So from me, Scatterbrook Farm and Molly Mop, take care of yourselves, hit the subscribe, share all the videos with your friends, and till the next time, stay safe, take care, and we will see you very soon. Cheerio.